All right.
What's up?
What up, though? Welcome to Woman Crush, where we review queer media, especially when it is black and especially when it is woman.
You said Woman Crush.
Woman Crush every day.
Woman Crush
every day. Not some days, not on just Wednesdays. Every day.
It's every single day. It's 365.
It's a Woman Crush. It's really deeper than that, but we're trying to keep it cool.
Word.
My name is Tang, aka ShawnBscribe.
My name is Allison, aka A Wu.
And we are going to talk about the L Word Season 2, Episode 2. But first, thank you to our new subscribers, Max Shaw X and Jerry Boo.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
thank you
absolutely.
for sliding and tapping that button and all that good stuff. So,
dope.
Yeah, appreciate you and keep rocking with us.
Absolutely. So if you have not watched the L Word Season 2, Episode 2 yet, we gonna spoil everything for you. So proceed at your own risk, and we're gonna jump into our favorite moments.
The spoiling, my favorite part. All right, actually, go ahead, kick it first.
Okay. My favorite moment was when everybody was at the poker game, which we'll come back to that poker game in a minute because that was also some BS. But when everybody was at the poker game and Sophie's at the table and Bette is at the table and Bette is just like throwing out comments that are just like hitting Sophie in the heart, and Sophie is just like, if you don't keep taking shots at me, and Bette is like, were you taking it personal? Were you assuming this is about you? And then Shane pretty much calls out Bette and is like, you know what, you've cheated. And Bette had to just, own up to that. And like everybody at the table started owning up to their stuff. And it ended with Alice coming in for the win with perfect comedic timing. When Gigi is like, I've cheated before. And Alice is like, oh yeah, with Nat?
That's right.
Yeah, trust issues. She's got trust issues now. Just a beautiful Alice moment. But I love that moment at the table of Bette, having to own up that like she has cheated. And the lasting effect that had, and I love how that is, put in juxtaposition with Sophie on the brink of getting married, and Shane, by the way, who stood somebody up at the altar, Carmen. All of these layered stories that are happening, and just how they can predict what will come of this one action and what didn't happen for this wedding.
Yeah, that was a hilarious scene. That whole night at the poker table so actually I'm lightweight pissed off by the whole Shane has decided to co-opt the poker idea, and
that is a part of Lena Waithe's character's bar.
Yeah, I think that's a totally weird way to play it. I guess I get it. If you're not welcome at this bar, then make your own. But I feel like if you have more access and more resources, that just means that that lesbian bar over here doesn't exist anymore. Like, play another game, bro. Play euchre. Play anything. But to be like, yo, we're doing poker over here, that's some hater ass shit. And fuck Shane for that.
And it's a played storyline. I'm sorry, we already did this in the original L Word. We already had the whole poker games being played and everything. And I just feel like corny Shane. Come up with something new. And
I don't know. I didn't know maybe lesbians like poker more than I thought. Maybe that's just like, we'll do it again. I
feel like, because
it's bossy.
Lesbians do like poker.
Is that what it is? I don't know any lesbians playing poker. If you're a lesbian who plays poker, follow. Subscribe to this channel and tell us what we're missing.
Shout out to my friends in Kalamazoo who love playing poker. It's lesbians there. So if you in KZoo, you like playing poker, you can find people. Hit me up. I'll send you their names.
Boom. I can play spades.
I can play spades all day. Poker is not my game.
I don't know if you can't put the same amount of money on poker. On spades you can put on poker.
No, it's not in the same league. It could be though.
Yes, you
can. Anyway.
All right.
We should be over the poker thing though. I don't think this is a good move for Shane, and I'm really disappointed that Tess was against it and then eventually came back to it.
You're right. Well, Tess is completely in love with Shane.
Yeah, I don't want them to happen. I think Shane is the worst person to be with. And I'm also like, what happened to Kiara?
I feel like Tess could be the person to make Shane's life make sense.
I feel like Shane is gonna make Tess's life not make sense.
Fair. We'll see.
And Tess, you seem to like you really got your shit together and you're on a great path. Like, girl, no, just date somebody else.
Yo, it was funny, yeah, when Shane was like, hey, I want you to run this poker shit, and she was like, bitch, bye.
You're messy.
You're messy as fuck, and
great.
Actually, I will have nothing to do with your messy ass regarding poker. Peace. But yeah, she definitely did bring her ass right back around, and all of that was capped, so.
Yes. Anyway, back to your favorite moment.
All right, my favorite moment, I think my favorite moment was Micah getting in Dani's ass.
Yes.
You know, because Dani was on her shit and we all understand why. You know, she was really embarrassed. It was fucked up.
It's so embarrassing.
Again, fuck Finley.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that tatted on my chest, bro. Like, that's how much I'm like, actually, fuck Finley, bro. Fuck Finley, bro. Yeah, the whole situation, you know, Dani is really, really cold-blooded about the whole situation. She's over Sophie. She's over everybody's shit. And Micah just had to take a moment to be like, yo, look. I get it. You're pissed. You got played. But you need to start with forgiveness, bro. You need to start with forgiveness in your heart. You need to figure out where the fuck that's at and start, like, honoring that.
Because you loved this woman a day ago.
Yeah.
And we all get it. 2
days ago, you were completely in love with her. So, like, yeah, just, like, yeah, I think for Micah to be the person to say, look, let's initiate that healing.
Yeah.
And you need to do that for you, not even for anybody else. I think that was my favorite scene. Because, yeah, Dani also, like, threw away the whole dish that Sophie gave her. Sophie made a dish and dropped it off. You know, she's still trying to make it make sense. And Dani threw the whole thing away. You know, she's just really... She threw the whole thing away, you know?
She said it might be poison.
She did. So yeah, I thought that was real, and shout out Micah for being a voice of reason and just like sticking to his guns throughout the episode.
Yeah.
I thought that was real shit. So.
Yeah. Micah, let's move into a woman crush of the week. Go ahead. Yeah,
you know what? I was gonna say Micah's totally my woman crush. I think that is. I don't want to be bold though and like misgender and all that shit. So. You know, I don't want to... I'm gonna say my crush goes to Micah this week because I think Micah was stand-up as fuck in ways that the characters on the L Word just are not ever.
They just be like, let the cards fall where they may.
Yeah, like, really. They just go full tilt messy. So shout out Micah for, like, just cleaning up and making some shit make sense. How about you?
Dope. I think my woman crush was surprisingly Nat because I don't ever find Nat to be desirable. The character is questionable. But I do feel like this week Nat came with some vulnerability and stood up for herself in a way that I don't ever think I've really seen her character come forth in that way. And so it was dope for her to just like really be listening. I could tell like she doesn't want to hurt Alice. She wants to say who she is. And that she just really came at Alice with like, you're bisexual and you should understand like things are complicated and also this is necessary for me. And you know, I do think it's cool that they're revisiting this polyamory conversation because I feel like where it left off last season, it's just like poly is just some messy shit. And I feel like I want Nat to have an opportunity to be a real person, and I hope that that's what kind of comes of this season. So I was like, okay,
and
Nat,
like an
I'm
honest
for you.
Lover and companion, and showing the layers and you know some of the nuances of polyamory.
Absolutely,
that the person who's not polyamorous, you know, they might not be privy to. So
yeah, I think that's really well said because I do think Nat has been loyal to Alice through all of this, and So I'm interested to see where that goes. And I was like, all right, Nat, I see you standing up, showing some strength. That's sexy. That's great.
I think it's cool to see, too, like, Nat and Alice's relationship as, like, the relationship in the show. Like, the other main characters of the show aren't in something where it's like you're really trying to work with your partner and figure it out, and you've known this person for a while, and you're just you're kind of deeply in your relationship. So I think that's pretty cool to go through that with just these folks over here. Yeah,
that's great. All right, so let's move into what would you keep or what would you change?
Let's see. Do you have one?
Okay,
because I'm like, before I hold everybody up, I'll keep thinking, and go.
I think we should definitely keep, and this is probably against better judgment, I think we need to keep this thing with Gigi and Bette. And I mean, I think it's a mess. I don't think it's a good relationship. But then I also see with Bette leaning into Dani that I'm just like, Bette, please don't go there. Like, that's mess. That's even too messy for you. Like, leave Dani alone. Let Dani figure her shit out. And so I'm like, no, just keep fucking with Gigi. This is, entertaining. Let's see where it goes.
Oh, I'm sorry. What can go? What can go before I go there?
What can change? I mean, I still think Finley can change. Okay, so this episode, I feel like we got more into how Finley is really dealing with mental health, and I think we got a taste of that last season. I just think that keeping Finley, I have compassion for people going through mental health, and I do think that a support system is needed. I also think that it is really unfair the way that it's going to tear down the lives of these other people who clearly don't know how to set boundaries that are healthy for them. And so Finley just like really gets on my nerves because the character is so selfish, and perhaps it is not on purpose, it's not intentional selfishness, but Finley just adds too much, and I just feel like I just want like a small circle of people who are actually well equipped to help somebody to intervene with Finley and leave everybody else who's unequipped alone.
Fair. Thinking of Finley, I feel like maybe this wasn't even my original can it stay or go, but I feel like if we're gonna have Finley, keep making like Finley's character a real person. Like, I feel like in this episode in particular, they try to paint Finley's like swag and like relevance, I guess, a little bit better. Like, we see all of the pieces that she's filling in around the studio, you know what I mean? Like, she's got the gum on deck when Donald Faison's character comes in. She's the only person who knows how to make Alice's coffee. She's like the only person who knows how to do so many things around the production of Alice, and I get it, so maybe I can be won over by Finley if you keep trying. Right now, I'm still like, fuck her. Because she keep making jokes.
Such a bad first season, and then she came back just really ruining it. Hey, Jaribo, welcome to the chat. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, thank you. But yeah, no, like, I'm so irritated by Finley making jokes like all the time, and maybe that's funny to you. Maybe that's funny to you. Okay, but to me, when I'm fully pissed and you just like busted up my wedding,
I feel like it's an insecurity though. I feel like it's like I feel like shit, and so I'm going to do things to make people laugh, because otherwise I'm just assuming you're also feeling like I am shit in this situation. Like, I feel like it's like trying to bring any kind of light to the situation so that she can read like, how much of me can I be?
That's real, but I just need one day of not deflecting.
You know,
I just need 24 hours of just owning that shit. You know, go to a room and cry for a second, Finley. Like, show me that. Show me where you really had enough of your own shit. You know, you haven't.
I almost
You're ready
wish
for more.
the pastor would come back from last season,
Mm-hmm.
who would just like talk Finley through conversations like, you haven't been real yet. You haven't said, like, I think
shout
Finley
out to
needs
you.
again.
Brought that back. That was good. That was good. Shout out the pastor from last season.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like though Finley's whole situation is like, yes, I want more of that. Let's dig deeper, and then this other part, let that go. I'm really conflicted about what I want to stay and go with Bette and Dani's relationship. You know, because in ways I'm like, I don't think I'm ready to let Dani go. Let's see where Dani goes. Dani has a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, no, I like Dani as a character.
So let's keep Dani around, but Dani and Bette, I'm conflicted.
I feel like it's too much too soon.
It does feel a little like age difference-y too, in a way. And I mean, I'm not even like an ageist. Yeah, I'm not even like an ageist, but I'm like, I don't know. Bette knows so much, and Dani, she don't know shit. She not ready for Bette Porter. I don't think she's ready for Bette Porter realness.
I don't know that she's ready for Bette Porter. I do think, that they are well matched. I just think a hurt Dani with a Bette is not a fair... I don't feel like that's a fair start. Yeah, I feel like Dani's got to be at the top of her game coming to meet a Bette, because Bette is so domineering in a relationship, and I feel like Dani can do that. I can see like, okay, this is who your dad is. Okay, this is how you understand how decisions are made. This is how you even had your previous relationship. Like, you are able to move things around and exercise power in a way that Bette does. But yeah, I don't think this is a good time for Dani.
Yeah.
To enter that.
Yeah.
And I think Bette is messy and won't use the pacing necessary to care for somebody. I don't think Bette is somebody who leaves, like, there's this thing on like Savage Love Cast, like, leave people in a better condition than when you found them in. Like, don't fuck them over. Yeah. And I feel like Bette don't follow that rule. She will come in, abracadabra some mess, and peace out. Like, well, I'm still fine. I'll find somebody else.
Bye. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Jariva was saying the mentor-mentee relationship is what they need to keep. I do like them as mentor-mentee now. I do think it could turn into something hot later, but maybe season 3 or like last episode of season 2.
Let's keep building that up. I feel like I want to see that continue to grow and stop being weird right now, because her showing up on the booty call hours, it's like, okay, all right, man,
with the good food.
Yo, and what's crazy is that, like, just earlier in that scene, we had the hot sex scene between the beginnings of a scene between Gigi and Bette, because Bette was going through, she was just explaining her workday crisis when her boss, Zakarian or whatever, was talking to one of the artists that she wants to bring on, this black artist that she wants to bring on. I can't remember his name in the show right now. I'm sorry.
Kismet.
Thank you. Yo, I'm always the one to remember the name that you like totally.
I come
shout out. Give me that. Yo, you got Kismet is his name. So anyway, Bette wants to bring Kismet on, and Zakarian comes in and is like, I almost brought your mentor on, but they weren't ready, and I feel bad, and it was just like, some weird shady shit.
Why did you even have to bring that extra story up? Like, you didn't even need to say that.
That's what racists do, though. You know what I'm saying? They find a way to, like, throw some extra story in there to be like, okay, actually, we were good. We were, like, doing okay. And then you had to just say that stupid shit. Yeah. Okay.
That brings me to, where does this episode fit, or what value does it give to the queer canon? And I kind of want to start there with just like this conversation about the elitist art market and how it can fuck over black artists, how it tries to call them in when it's profitable, when it brings social capital to them. But then also you end up having these microaggressions as you are, using the attention that's being provided. And I know that's true in the movie industry, it's true in the theater industry, it's true in the music industry, of just like when you're hot and on, how somebody will use that space to just further make you feel like this shit wasn't built for me.
Yeah, I agree. I just want to agree first that showcasing this world for Black artists, especially in like this level of art, it's tough. It's tough, and I don't think that's really talked about. I don't know where it's talked about. So shout out L Word for bringing that to the table.
And they've always done that. Even in the original, Bette has always brought in real artists that are somehow breaking through barriers that should have never been a barrier to begin with. Anyway, back to you.
No. I think that's great. And I mean, I feel like you have a dope wealth of knowledge, especially on the history of the show. So that's super. Yeah, shout out. This is our resident like L Word scholar. Okay, she knows like everything about the L Word. It's crazy. So much so that like she wrote a whole like 10-play series of fan fiction that got produced and staged of L Word. Can I say that here? Can I say that?
Yeah.
L. Yo, it's crazy.
ELLE.
ELLE in Kalamazoo, Michigan. It's crazy. Like I saw one of these shows and I'm like, oh my gosh, you actually like, God, this is crazy. Yo, but long story short, she knows her shit about the L Word. But I agree. I guess, yeah, that part in particular really stood out to me. I don't know where I would like line that up in the history of like lesbian media or anything like that, but I thought that was a cool little standout moment. But I think it always, L Word always kind of falls into like it's just soapy.
Yeah.
It's just soapy.
It is soap.
Like I don't want to go too, like L Word's never gonna take us too deep, but it's gonna like
it's gonna hit on those
social
things.
It's gonna scratch.
Yeah.
And so like I appreciate that we'll talk about it, but also just try to keep it in a space of like, hey, let's just have fun.
Yeah.
Let's have some more drinks.
Yes.
Pour up another drink.
And talk about the shit that's happening.
Yeah.
In the community, we're really like, what's happening messy-wise in people's relationships. That's what I feel like the L Word is about. It's like, let's go overarching and talk about like what's at the heart of the community, and then let's go deep into the bedroom.
Facts. Thinking about like where the alcohol comes in though, the fact that Finley got this job now because she had to leave working for Alice. Yeah. That wasn't working out because Sophie and Finley got into an argument in the room. Or in the studio in an office, but Finley needs a job. She ends up getting hired by Shane, but right before that, Finley tells us that she has stopped drinking, and then she gets hired to work at a bar. I just feel like
she's drinking a beer,
not gonna be
as
good.
She's getting hired.
Yeah,
so I'm just like, okay, so this is where I'm just like, why do y'all have Finley with people who clearly can't help them? Like you have Shane, who has had her own run-in with a lot of stuff. You have Tess, who is a recovering alcoholic working at a bar. They're all working at a bar. Now you bring Finley into the mix, and I feel like, does Shane even really... I mean, Shane has already told Finley, like, you can't live with me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel like it's a setup. Oh, and she slept with Tess, and... this is going to be messy with the poker game. Yeah. It's just like mess. Shane is just layering on things. Like what's funny is Shane was like taking shots at Alice. Like, oh, Alice is, the reason why Finley came back is kind of her fault. And I'm like, Shane, you create mess. You shuffle the cards in a way that we gonna have a fucked up game. Like, you do this.
Yeah. Oh man. I don't know. Shane does make mess. Everybody, but I mean, I already told you, like, on the way here, I'm just like, everybody's just so saturated with the mess. They just love it. They just, they wake up in the morning and eat mess sandwiches. Like, before they go to bed, they have mess midnight snacks. Messy midnight snacks. They love it.
And, I'm here for it on the TV show, as long as it's not creeping into my real life.
Preach.
I'm good for it.
Say that.
So I want to see what they do next week. I want to see more Gigi and Bette. I want Bette to stay the fuck away from Dani. I want Finley to find help. Real help.
I want Sophie to find help.
I really do.
Real
Because I
help.
want Sophie to be happy, and I feel terrible for Dani.
That house with them in it.
I hope Micah stays off the married booty.
I think Micah's done.
I hope so.
I believe in it.
And who else? I feel like there's somebody who was in this episode that we didn't even bring up.
I don't know. We did a good job.
We did.
I don't know. I feel like we talked about everybody.
Well, we'll see next week. Let us know what you think. Who are your favorite moments? Who was your woman crush?
Yes.
What would you keep or change? And yeah, do you feel like this episode, this season is important for queer media in general?
Yeah, let's keep the conversation going, y'all. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you were watching live, if you're watching this on a replay, thank you so much. Make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe buttons and all that good stuff. And vibe with us, because we're going to keep bringing you great conversations around queer media. So
shout out to Bread House for
we're
space.
Again, coming to you live from the Bread House. Thank you, Bread House, for hosting us. And until next time.
Until next time, check out Kung Fu Wu.
Oh yeah, find me A Wu. Music streaming on all the places.
Find it on Spotify.
Yeah.
Apple Music, all of that.
All that good stuff. See, she's good on the plugs too. Oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? All right, y'all.
Y'all.
See ya.